Hello friends, welcome to Java interview question chapter number 10. In this tutorial we'll see what is immutable class and how we can create an immutable class. And then we'll see a simple example on immutable class and one more example that I'll discuss, and with that we'll see if still any problem comes while understanding, so we'll see with a small string example. We know string is an immutable class. So let's start with the course. So what is immutable class? A simple definition for immutable class is immutable class means that once an object is created, we cannot change its content, or an object is immutable if its state cannot change after construction. So once we have created the object, so we cannot change it later. We cannot change the state of the object later. So how to create an immutable class? There are following steps are there. We have to follow few steps. Let's see what all these steps are. So you have to declare a class as final, so it can't be extended. So if you declare a class final, that means that class can be extended. So make all the fields private so that direct access is not allowed. All the fields, all the reference variables should be final here. Don't provide setter method for variables. So instead of setter method, what we are going to use, initialize all the fields via constructor performing deep copy. Okay, and then if the class holds a mutable object, so previously we saw that direct access is not allowed. This is if it is immutable, that is fine, but if it is a mutable reference variable, so for that, inside the constructor, make sure to use a clone copy of the past argument and never set your mutable field to the real instance passed through constructor. This is to prevent the client who passed the object from modifying it afterwards. And second thing, make sure to always return a clone copy of the field and never return the real object instance. So we'll see first without the mutable reference variable, then we'll see the mutable thing. So let's see the simple example as I declare my class as final. So let's write a class which is final, and then we have to declare my variable private and final. So int id and the name. Now, as I told you, setter method will not use. We'll use the constructor for initializing. So immutable student you can see here, and I have given this dot name equal to name and this id dot equal to id. And we can use a getter method, that is fine. So for both the variables we'll use getter method. So this is a simple example. Whatever I have discussed in the points, how to create a immutable class, we have followed all this. Now if suppose you have mutable reference variable, so we'll see that example also. So as I mentioned, I have to create class final. So I've created my class final and I have a variable int id. Here you can see I have an address that is actually a mutable reference variable, that is mutable object here, address is. So how we'll create this one? We'll create a constructor, will not use setter method. So I have int id and address, this address. So what I'll do here, simply I'll create an object of this address in this class only. So new address, and then to set the value I'll do it here only, this dot address dot set street, and I'll get the street here. Same way in the getter method also I'll write something like this, get address, I'll create an object and then I'll set the details on that. So this is the way, if you have a mutable reference variable you have to do something like this. So I hope immutable object concept is clear. If still is not clear, I'll tell a simple example. As we all know, all the wrapper classes are immutable class, and we have a string is immutable class. So we'll see this with this example. So suppose I have string s equal to abc. So what happens in my heap memory? This goes to in string constant pool, and it will create one abc there. So what happens? This s will point to this ABC. So now suppose as I told, immutable object states cannot change. So this ABC, if suppose if I change this S to BCD, so what will happen? This will not change. As I told, this is immutable, so this is not getting changed. What happens? This S refer to, or you can say point to BCD. Instead of changing this ABC, it will create a new, and it will say S will point to BCD. Again, suppose if we have somewhere S1 equal to ABC, then instead of creating ABC again, so we can use this one. We will see the advantage there in advantage also. So if we create S1 equal to ABC, then S1 will point to this ABC. It will not recreate again. Okay. So now S equal to S points to BCD. So what will happen if I print this one? In that case, output will be BCD because S is pointing to BCD. I hope immutable concept is clear till here. Still, if it is not clear, I'll suggest just go to the comment section, comment that, put your question. I'll try to answer. So what is the advantage of immutable class now? So we'll see that one by one. Immutable objects are thread safe. As you can see, you cannot change that thing, so it will be obviously a thread safe. So you'll not have any synchronization issue. Any multiple thread can use that in a single time. And immutable object are good for map keys. So I hope you all knows in map we use key, so key should be a mutable. That is a condition in the map. Key should be a mutable, so we use immutable object only there. Immutability make it easier to parallelize your program as there are no conflict among objects. This is obvious. Then internal state of your program will be consistent even if you have an exception also. Reference to immutable object can be cached as they are not going to change. So we have seen that ABC is not getting changed, so we can use as a for caching purpose also. So all these are the example of advantage of immutable class. I hope this is clear to everyone. If still it's not clear, I'll again suggest go to the comment section and put your comment so that I can help you directly. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.